Hey everyone, Rather Incoherent here, back with more Rome Total War as the Julii. I believe we're finally at the point in the game where we're repairing our legions one last time before trying to push into the Marian reforms, which we are damn close to. We are producing peasants in these cities to send over to Patavium, even in tiny little Segesta. We're going to try to have the city grow within the next 3 turns. I don't actually know if having 24,000 pop or finishing the building is what triggers it. But I'm going to do my best to at least have the Marian reforms finished before this campaign sees a victory screen. General. Now, it is probably impossibly greedy to say I can take this army and conquer Armenia, right? I do legitimately think that if I took these commander, these Scythian horse archers, and this infantry such as it was, sailed the Black Sea, collecting horse archers from the Scythian coast and Armenia, I might actually be able to conquer Armenia with this. But the flip side is that I have no reason to do that, and I'd be much better off just disbanding this to get rid of the cost, except for the premium units like these horse archers and the generals, leaving peasants to garrison Sinope, and heading south to join up with other armies. Like, this doesn't even have a commander right now. I don't have very many family members down here. I would appreciate the family members joining these armies. So that's what I'm going to do. First things first, the premium units and generals are going to get out of Sinope. And that looks like it's already sorted out happiness, because the garrison should be high enough. No, it's already at 80% for the garrison. So I do need to lower the tax rate, which I can't do anymore. So we'll be employing the population trick, where they're all busy getting turned into peasants, so they can't be busy revolting. Hopefully, I managed to find a solution to this and don't have to actually build all of these peasants. We'll see how that goes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to disband the super fucked up mercenaries. I'm going to leave these to eventually join up with these boats. I have more than a full stack here, if I recall correctly. So having these 4 units to join a boat eventually is fine. I'm going to send this south to join up with the army. And I guess I can clear out some rebels on the way. Now, there's probably some important stuff this turn, like 2 massive unlosable sieges at the very least. I'm currently baiting Numidia into killing themselves in this front. And here I'm recruiting Hastati to eventually go to war with Egypt. Now the thing about that is, I'm only going to get a couple of Hastati here, actually. I've already got Javelin men to carry the rams. I'm not going to recruit Hastati here, I've just realized. I'm going to recruit nothing but Equites. Because right now, if I recruit nothing but Equites, I get 5 units of Equites, compared to the, 3 units of Hastati? Yeah. Because population is the limiting factor here, so I want to make Equites rather than anything else. I have a boat coming to Crete to get mercenaries. I've already handled all my infrastructure this turn, it looks like, so the big thing I need to do... Yeah, these just happen next turn, is go start really pushing into the Seleucid Empire. Now, these are going to be kind of brutal slogs. I'm just going to cut to the part where the fight really starts and I win rather quickly. Because, yeah, they have 1 real unit, and their real unit is still a Levy pikeman. I want to auto-resolve so badly, but this unit has a lot of mercenaries in it, so I have to fight this one on the battle map because I know I can't retrain them. But I should be able to auto-resolve this other one. Inside the city, can I see its buildings? It has a tier 2 archery range. I have to hope they bothered to build a tier 1 stables and some amount of barracks, but... I mean, honestly, even if they didn't... I don't want to fucking fight 2 units of elephants with no general army. So yeah, I'll auto-resolve this one. There's a variety of reasons. I can retrain this whole army. There's no good way to fight 2 units of elephants in a fucking town square. I have no ranged units. This isn't a field battle. Let's just auto-resolve. I can accept 800 wounds against 2 elephants. That's fine. Now, I'm actually going to exterminate Antioch, because I need this city to be happy in producing units. Now, if I'm going to enslave 7,400 people, I think Sinope and my Western African areas would get really I hit enslaved by habit. I was in the process of explaining why it's really important that I don't press that button. So, I assume they're at full garrison bonus and they're still furious, right? Yeah. They're at 25% happiness and it's not getting better. Well, for this turn, they're going to be fucking rioting and nothing anyone ever does is going to change that. In terms of units I can build here, easily going to be picking archers. It's a clear weakness of this army. And they're just going to riot for a turn. Nothing I can do about that because I pressed the wrong button. Sinope is okay, but I need to go through all my cities. Is there a settings button somewhere where I can make these never do this? I always want to see the happiness of my cities. And, like, it's unclear exactly. If I scroll all the way out to this view, can I get happiness? Okay, yes, I can see happiness in this view, it looks like. So, according to this, no one's rioting, if that's what this is. Yes, this is the only place that's rioting. I do have some areas that are quite frustrated, but no one else is rioting. This view is actually very useful. Awesome. So, since we already have fucked up pretty egregiously this turn, I want to quickly test, can I make this settlement my capital? Let's go back to that overlay and look at happiness again. It's real bad in these two towns, but I think these actually have high tax rates. And no one else is actually rioting. So we can do this now, and this probably increases our income as well by reducing corruption. We just have to adjust taxes pretty heavily. So here I'm going to drop from very high all the way down to normal. And I think it's a Gestica that's the other rioter. They're going to go from high all the way down to low. But that actually did wonders for my public order, and in fact, well, Antioch is still rioting. But they're really close to not rioting, so that's something. I can pretend this is intentional, right? Like, that's a lot of slaves. It helps Batavium grow. Might have even shaved a turn off, who knows? Okay, so I think all that's left this turn is this siege, which I just have to play myself. Because, I mean, honestly, comparing the balance of power, I'm not doing that much better than the elephant fight. I don't want to lose 600 units in what should be a walkover. I don't think the AI follows this tip. They seem pretty content to charge directly into spear points with their cavalry. So we're doing the same thing we do in all of these fights. Everyone move up, ranged units push everything away from the walls. And we batter a huge number of holes in the walls, come in where it's undefended, rip them apart. It's going to be very easy. And this unit's pretty much dead just to ranged units. Actually, had these archers stop firing for a little while.
Show no mercy. The enemy walls are down.
Someday I'll get to control my units.
Buried beneath the ruins.
These slingers can fire as much as they want, because apparently they've never really gotten a good chance to due to their lower range. And anyone who has projectiles and could be in range is fully allowed to use them. And I'm just going to wait to see what the AI does in terms of positioning its units. It should settle down at some point. Apparently it wants to just walk into range of spears here, which was not the best play. Okay. I'm going to have my Hastati in these two gates move in. Other way, guys. Other way. Turn around. Alright, pause this so that none of you fire into each other. That should be pretty easy to wipe out. Now we reform on both of these locations, and we re-enable fire at will for all of this. And I'm not really sure what they think they're doing here. Might have my general come inside to try to bait this a little bit. Yeah, that seems to have worked. At this point, I'm going to have them stop fire at will. Have these stop fire at will. Now just have them charge and wipe it out again. So far, we've lost literally nobody. Not a single Roman has died today. I doubt I'll be able to manage to keep that streak. Now I'm going to have my Hastati without javelins form up on the inside. I could make sure not a single Roman dies today by sending in the Mercenaries. That's technically, you know, not lying. Have all of my long-range units come here. Which shouldn't pull anything, to my knowledge. Get my Equites inside the walls too, just so they can move around later. And the actual Mercenaries I might use next to my Hastati. Is this your formation? Oh god, I hate this unit. Stay out of the walls. Don't come in. Holy shit, I would never have hired you if I knew you guys didn't believe in formations. Speaking of, you guys fucking leave. Run. Don't you dare get wiped out by Peltost for no fucking reason. You are so valuable to me. Also, do they just have 2 groups of Peltost left? Oh my. I did not realize this. And they seem like they're moving to go try to fight my archers. Yeah, I think I'm about to chain route them. It's just a question of how many cavalry die before I get that route off. Because they've left the square, which leaves them vulnerable to actually, you know, losing battle fairly instead of me killing them to the last man every single time. I don't know if you can tell by the way I'm, like, cynical about sieges so far this episode, but I just recorded an episode of Germania with an absolutely terribly managed siege versus the Roman factions, and I am still on tilt. Yeah, this is exactly what I want to see. Now, what should happen is this triggers them to turn around, because I'm about to have the square. And as they're coming back, I'll send the charge here, and have my general come up on the rear. Now I start this charge. And I start this charge. Oh wait, there is a single militia hoplite left. This should still be the end, but I suspect I'm going to lose at least one. Yep, I've lost 2 men already.
Great gods be praised. Enemy general is
I think I lost 4 men. I lost 4 men to kill 858. That's why I didn't want to auto-resolve. If there's any one thing I've learned from this campaign, it's that ranged units, like actual proper archers, are insanely strong compared to how I used them in childhood. Admittedly, these are the best archers in the game, but I feel like any archer would be good enough. I guess I'm going to keep enslaving. I don't think I immediately need this money. I don't think I need to massacre them for happiness. Although I'm probably getting proven wrong on that happiness front right now. In terms of recruitment, it can retrain Hastati, which is great, because I'm going to be leaving at least 1 behind for that purpose. So I'm going to retrain 1 Hastati and start a new one. I'm going to take everyone but that Hastati out of the city and watch the happiness plummet. Yep, that's about right. If I look at the garrison right now, they're only at 20%. I can expect to gain 60% up to 80%. And I actually don't think Tarsus is rioting, but even if they are, this army has places it needs to be. Specifically, I want to just march into the heart of the Tigris Euphrates, conquer Seleucia, and make sure that the Seleucids never threaten me again, and then I'll start pulling it down through the desert to fight Egypt. This army will be the one going straight south into their territories here. But regardless of where it's going, step 1 is to make sure this general doesn't move forward. Now, I think that's actually the turn. I think I handled everything else last time. And, I want to go briefly look at my position on the military graph at the end of this turn. So right now, I'm guessing that's around like 21,000 on military. We're retraining a lot of units this turn. I really care about how much that goes up. So let's check that again at the start of next turn. My spies are coming back to Rome. As always, I forgot about them. I failed my Senate mission, because I didn't want to go to war with Gaul for no reason. I feel for Germania, man. I have been harassed endlessly in my campaign by Britannia too. Alright, now we have to deal with this Sally Forth. It should be, honestly, incredibly easy. It's Peltas versus Equites in an open field, like what on earth are you thinking? I'm going to move forward and draw up as wide as I can to get maximum surface area on the charge. And I'm going to charge. Now that the charge is over, I'm going to pull back and do it again. Now the charge is over, I'm going to pull back and do it again. Now the charge is over, I'm going to pull back and do it again. This time is going a lot worse than my test game, but it should still wipe them out.
The enemy general is running away. This is no way for a leader to behave, but in battle,
Yeah.
it's beyond belief.
That feels like I did it terribly because I was playing at double speed and not paying attention, and I still managed to pull it
They
off.
are not soldiers, only frightened.
And I will continue for experience on this unit. Wait, no I won't. This unit's never seeing battle again. That is such a waste of my time.
Could not have
Yeah, I think in the test game where I tried that, where it was just the same situation, I think I came out with like almost 80 men at the end because I was pulling away from my charges faster and I had lined up better relative to how they were moving. So I should probably pay more attention when I'm doing crazy shit like this in the future. Oh, I could have prevented rebels from existing if I had done that, though. I'm just going to exterminate that. Numidia, dead. We're committing a little bit of genocide here, aren't we? I will accept anybody immediately. Senate mission failure. They asked me to leave somewhere. I don't even remember this mission. Killed a faction. Super popular with the masses. They're very upset with me. Is this the region I was supposed to leave, maybe? I'm gonna be honest, there are a lot of places I could have conquered that upset them. I don't know specifically which one they're upset about. Resistance is futile, rioting, and Batavium and Cirta. Oh, Batavium's entirely my fault. That's a huge mistake. Look, the whole growing thing, it's gonna be happening in a few turns, apparently. So, they're very upset. I assume they're already on low taxes because I want them to grow super fast. Well, look, the mayor reforms have always been a bad idea, and it's becoming aggressively more apparent as time goes on. But this isn't why. I want to be retraining this, and instead what I'll be doing... I have to retrain this. And I will make a peasant for garrison, because I don't think I have a choice. Because my garrison bonus should be pretty fucking low right now. It doesn't have one. Yeah, okay. And I will disband all of these peasants to push its population up as though nothing is wrong. Excuse me? Oh, I have to select the peasant. It just doesn't, like, click with me intuitively that I have to select the peasants to disband them when there's only one unit of peasants in the army. Now, Segesta is going to need peasants for its own sake, but the rest of you are producing peasants for the sake of Batavium. I have this army of mercenaries coming down to join the legions, which probably could have stopped by to garrison. Wouldn't have been a bad call. Oh well. How many people died in these riots? 1,500. Set me back like 2 turns. Cirta also rioted. Which is... city Oh, this city. Die mad, I guess. I'm not going to fix this. I mean, I will do my best to make you happy, but this is thoroughly not my fault. Okay, the thing I wanted to check, though, I almost got distracted by all the messages. We went up from... holy shit. I said we were... this is my overall ranking, not military. Okay. We went up about 3,000, I would say, units by retraining all of that. Our military stack is substantially bigger than it was a few seconds ago. So let's gather our first legion down here in the Peloponnesus. We have Principes from Sparta, Equites from Corinth, Hastati and Equites from Athens. We're going to move west. We have Equites from Larissa. We're going to drop them off on the coast so as to not potentially die to random pirates. We have Equites from Thermon. It's actually more than one legion. So this is just like a proper Roman legion ready to go. I think this is one movement tile. And I am actually going to continue producing a second legion in these cities. I feel entirely comfortable with that. I think I have more than enough income to support this. And I can do it again very quickly. Thessalonica's plague has ended, so I will retrain these and make another unit of Principes, and then I'll start sending the Principes down after this turn. Up here, we suddenly just have a Roman legion from nowhere. So, quick test to see if they'll be happy with the peasant. They will not. So I need to lower the taxes. Can't do that. Well, you know what? Fucking riot about it. I don't care. You'll have more garrison next turn. Actually, can I send a peasant from here? No. One thing I could theoretically do is march my commander this way and hire a mercenary as the garrison for a turn. This seems like a very expensive garrison, doesn't it? Like, are they really gonna riot more than $1,000 in damages? Probably. I'll have a use for these mercenaries eventually, probably. So go make sure they don't riot, I guess. That sounds like a good way to have your city stolen by mercenaries, right? Oh well. Here I'm going to continue producing troops. And... wait, what? I have a unit of cavalry auxilia? Oh, these are Equites. God, they look similar, don't they? Go ahead and produce another unit of Equites here for the army. Armies, rather, isn't it? Yeah, it's more than one stack. I wonder how long there have been Hastati on this boat that I've been forgetting about. Well, regardless, I'm going to start bringing it around to pick up the next legion. Send this man down to go find some archers in Crete. There's a chance there are some here. In fact, there are. Hot damn. I'll buy the archers now. I don't care about the rest, but I will pick it up on my way back if it's still there. And in Already, I'm going to continue training Principes instead of any sort of peasants for Batavium, which looks more and more like it's just not going to happen every turn. I don't think it's that I'm not going to be able to get the Marin uniforms, but that right as they happen, it's going to be when I go to war with Rome. So rather than training cool new legions, I'm just going to lose the ability to retrain my old ones, and it's going to be actively detrimental. Oh wow, you guys are very unhappy. Hopefully it's something I can easily sort out with taxes, and it is. Let's go take a look at the happiness map, because evidently things have changed a lot recently. So that city's getting a garrison built, this city I need to look at, and everything else is fine. Well, it has no population on account of the massacre I just performed. So hey, Equites, you have a purpose in life now, it's garrisoning this city. Next, I need to get rid of all of their culture differences, and, well, the first part of that's not going to be pretty. It's going to be making things worse, not better. But now that I've done this, it's, like, very apparent that I'm not fixing this, and they're probably going to keep rioting. I will, however... I can't actually fight the Propel task because they're all out of movement. Over here, I want to recruit another unit of Equites. And I want to actually push this man away from my city. Again, I'm not sure what benefit this really has, but I want to do it. I don't really feel the need to go fight him, so I'm just going to hang out in my city and build more units. Is it right to go to war with Egypt right now? This army seems pretty small, but at the same time, it seems like it might be big enough. I'll think about that another day. For now, let's wipe Carthage out before we end this video. I forgot to build rams. What's wrong with me? Well, we'll wipe Carthage out next turn, I guess. I really just don't want to fight these family members. I can't imagine losing this, it just sounds unfun. Can I auto-resolve? Thank you. Just, dear God. I mean, I've got to enslave. It's the only way I'm ever getting Batavium to grow. I didn't actually check that auto-resolve screen, but it looked like I lost a comically large number of men that I should not have lost. Judging by these mercenaries, that is indeed what happens. And also, as always, you auto-resolve a battle and somehow everything in the city is destroyed. So this city is having a fucking bad time of it right now. It turns out that moving my capital to the east made conquering in the west really, really difficult. Now, luckily, I don't actually need any of these now that I think about it. I can destroy them to help deal with the culture penalty. And simultaneously make some money. Now, destroying ports and traders feels a little bit extreme. I'm not going to do that. But I am going to leave the city, probably. Because I don't want any of these people getting killed in the riots. But I will retrain, nothing, because the city can't recruit anything. The boats, neat. I'll build an actual navy for once in my life. Or, you know, a very shitty start of a navy. I'm very sad I'm not killing Carthage this episode. I thought this was the end of them. And now looking at this, I have 3 generals in this town. I'm going to take 2 of them down. What? No, I don't want to attack the port. I just want to walk down here. And I'm going to have them actually get on boats to join various militaries for the legions down here, rather than just waiting to do it up here. This man needs to move. He's just in the way. Now he's more in the way than ever. And unlike other faction members, I'm completely fine trying to kill this one, because I've got horse archers, which should make this incredibly easy for me. I've got reinforcements, not that I need them. So here what I'm doing is just lining up my commanders to eventually come charge as cavalry. But for a very long time, I'm just going to be moving these horse archers around and harassing. This is very silly, isn't it? I mean, it's fucking effective. I can't possibly justify not doing it. I'm exhausting him. And I'm massively weakening his unit. I think we've killed about half of them so far. We've killed 1/3 of them so far. There are 2/3 of them left, and it's just... Have you heard units move that hit new single? I think we just went from killing a couple of them to killing all of them very suddenly. Is this really how good 2 units of horse archers are versus 1 general? They've just given up. They're like, fuck it, I guess we'll die. I guess that's it. I guess we lost. They've got bows on horseback. What are we supposed to fucking do about it? Yeah. Alright, cool. Good job, guys. Is anyone else suddenly really looking forward to a horse archer faction after that? Jesus Christ. And honestly, I'm gonna send this behind and attack them next turn. Like, they're gonna force me to withdraw, but they're gonna lose so many men in the process. Actually, I can do this a little bit safer. Hey, Stadi, go attack him. Oh my god, it's exactly what I thought it would be. Okay, cool. Cool. That's exactly what I thought I'd be saying. I will train more units in both of these cities. It's just necessary. I need the Wharf Engine going. And on the one hand, I could deal a massive amount of damage to this army. No, fuck it, I will. I'm going to send the generals around through the mountains to join up with proper armies. I'm just going to send the Scythians here. And I'm just going to use my entire quivers and then retreat once the fight starts. Now, I know there's a city here. There's also one, Seleucia, over here. After that, my knowledge gets real fuzzy because I haven't played Rome Total War Vanilla in a very long time. I think this is the only other city they have in this area. And obviously they don't have it anymore. Armenia took it from them. So I'm going to move in this direction. But first I'm going to go see what's happening at this bridge. And before I leave, I'm actually going to drop a fort here. Grab everyone except these terrible, terrible pirates. Drop a watchtower a little bit further south. And now I'm going to continue down to this... Oh, well, I guess we're going to war with Egypt sooner than planned, huh? Since this is just the eastern edge of the Seleucids. They probably still have this down, but actually, I can check. They even still have Seleucia? They do. And it looks like a... Well, it's not going to be that bad to actually assault this, huh? Because it's going to be all militia hoplites. Oh, wow, Jesus. They have 3 units of scythe chariots in their capital. And many silver chevron units, including their faction heir. Yeah, they can have Seleucia. I'm just going to go to war with Egypt. Fuck that. I'm not crossing these lands without conquering cities to siege that city. Jesus, no. Oh, also, I'd much rather be recruiting archers here than what I just recruited. Now, I should be easily at 80% garrison, which means I can take a lot of this out of the city. Now, obviously, my lowest priority units are the Hastati. So let's see what 4 Hastati looks like in terms of garrison bonus. The answer looks like only 30%, because the city is very large, isn't it? 6,700. Would you feel better about it if I perhaps made you a better temple? No, they don't really seem to care. I assume they're at normal... Yeah, they're already at low tax rate. I'm gonna be honest. I will send back 4 more Hastati for the time being. 5 more Hastati. Everything but the cavalry. Can I keep the archers? I need someone to hold a ram, man. Okay, yeah. So I'm going to take 1 unit of Hastati, because their archers making will be equivalent for garrison bonuses. 1 unit of archers, and send this south. And actually, I'm going to send it to the boats. This is going to head to Cyprus and start conquering Egyptian lands. Now, I'm sure there's a lot more to do this turn just on the basis of I have so much shit going on in my empire. But for now, I'm going to be ending the video. This has been rather Incoherent. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and if you have, consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. It really helps the channel grow. I'll see you around.